Appreciate y'all checking in. Hey, Maya. See Maya Too Tall, my girl, out east. My bloopers king. That's what Maya is. Appreciate you checking in. Go on, send me the wave. Peak Performance 336. I see you. Appreciate you checking in. Got a great show tonight. As we always do. We've had a pretty good round of guests. I see you, girl. I see you. Had a pretty good round of guests. Also, I do interviews for other people in their lives as well. I don't just do a live. I actually do lives. I did one. I did an interview last night and I did an interview this morning. So I give back. I don't just take. We had a great show planned tonight. Young lady, I think you all should get to know. Will get to know. All right, Peak Performance 336. Hit me in the inbox. I'm always looking for some connections. That's what this whole business is about, connections and relationships, and I'm all for it. So just hit me in the inbox. Let's talk. Appreciate you all checking in. We have my girl here tonight. I'm excited that she's in the building. I think you all are going to get a lot of good information tonight. We have, you got better with your interviews, Maya. Okay, we'll see when I see you. When this is over with, you spent time doing the COVID-19 break to get your interview skills up. Okay, all right. Matter of fact, I might have to get you on live one night. How about that? We're going to see how you do on there. That's good. Appreciate you checking in. Hayes, David Rice Sr., and Layla Fleetwood. Appreciate you all checking in. Think you're going to like tonight. A lot of great information, things you need to know. Parents and players, somebody that's going to inform you, help you get better. And I'm excited because she's a part of the Get Me Recruited family now. We're going to bring her in a minute or two. And want to talk a little bit about, okay, that's fine. Just let me know. I see you, Maya. All right, I'm telling you, you think I'm playing. I'm going to bring you in. It's going to be a random, too. It's just going to be like, come on, let's go live. And we're going to talk. Hey, how you doing, Kuzo? I appreciate you checking in. I'm not the best trying to be next to the best. How about that? Mr. Coach K, appreciate you checking in again this week. All of you, I appreciate you checking in. I think you're going to enjoy this week. Before we move on, as we always do, we want to talk about a little bit about who we have this Thursday. Before we talk about Tuesday, we have Quincy Miller on the show Thursday. It's going to be a great show Thursday as well. Thursday, 2012, second round NBA draft pick. Many of you know, if you're a little younger, you may not know, but somebody that you will find entertaining as well. He'll be here Thursday, 6'11" wing that I have a special relationship with, and I'm looking forward to him being here. But tonight, Tuesday night, is Gladine Frasso. Good information coming tonight. You're going to enjoy it. Get to know her. You're going to see a lot more of her. We're going to bring her in here momentarily, and we're going to get it started. Appreciate you checking in. I see you all coming in. It's 9:04. We're about to bring her. Appreciate you. I see you. We're about to bring Gladine Frasso. We're coming in. All right. Gladine.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. How's everything?
Everything's going pretty good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's good.
Now, everybody, she's all formal right now. We're on our business calls, so we got to be kind of formal. But this is my girl right here. We have a good time. She really good people. Been knowing her for a couple months now. We met through actually social media. Right? Had a lot of things in common, and I'm just stalking her page like, hey, I like this young lady.
Trust me, I did the same for your page too. So it's okay.
I think good minds think alike, and we have a lot of the same interests and everything. And
yeah,
I enjoyed the fact that we both clicked. Right. It wasn't awkward. It was just like it was meant to be. And here we are. We're excited to have you on the show this week. We got so much we want to talk about.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I know you. I've gotten to know you a little better, but why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Okay. So for everyone who's on, my name is Gladine Frasso. I am a wife to a wonderful husband and a mom to a crazy 2-year-old. I work as an environmental health and safety engineer and a certified mental performance coach. And I also own I Am Mentally Tough, as you can see in my shirt.
Right. Now, you didn't just jump in the game and not have any experience. Now, you know, me and you talked a little bit, and you played a little bit on the hardwood yourself, you know.
Yes.
So why don't you tell everybody, you know?
Yeah, it's been so long I forget to introduce myself as a former athlete.
No, that's okay. Why don't you tell them a little bit about your playing career? Yeah.
In high school, I played 4 years high school at Schuylkill Valley, which is located in Leesport, Pennsylvania. And I played my college ball at Millersville University, which is located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So how was your career in high school, and how did your recruitment go?
So my career in high school, so I moved from New York to Pennsylvania in the 8th grade. I am 6'1", so when I was in the 8th grade, I was about 5'11", 5'8", who knows. And, you know, people were saying, oh, you're so tall, you should play ball, you should play ball. I didn't know a lick about ball. I never touched the ball, never played basketball ever in my life. So when you move to a new school, the first thing you want to do is try to impress people and get friends, you know. And, I was like, yeah, I play ball, which I didn't. So first day of practice, I'm shooting at the wrong basket. I'm walking with the ball, and the girls are looking at me like, are you sure you play? So my 8th grade year was horrible, but I loved the game so much. I asked my parents, hey, can you get me a basketball hoop? Can you just get us a basketball hoop? So that summer they got us a basketball hoop, and I practiced all summer. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't hang out with the friends. I didn't do anything that 8th graders going into 9th grades did, at the time. So I practiced my butt off. I played a lot of summer ball as well. And just from doing that all summer, my 9th grade coming in, from somebody who didn't know how to dribble a ball, I started my freshman year on the varsity team in high school. So that's kind of how I kind of got the grit in me. Like, basically, I just said, if you want something, you work for it, right? So that's basically what I did. My recruitment process, very easy for me because I knew I wanted to stay home. I wanted to stay close to home. So my top 3 teams were St. Bonaventure, Hofstra, and Millersville University. Millersville was about 45 minutes from my house. Like I said, I wanted to stay close to home. I love my family, and at that time, I was dating somebody, so I didn't want to lose that relationship.
Right.
But the twist, I ended up marrying him, so it's all good.
right.
So when my first visit to Millersville University, I absolutely loved it. They recruited me really, really hard. So I got to the campus, I looked around, I loved it. I knew I was going to be an asset to the team. So immediately I went back home. I said, Mom, this is the college I wanted to go to. So for me, it was very, very easy.
Really? So when you went on the visit, what were the things about the school that impressed you the most? Was it the campus, the coach? What was it?
It was the coaches and my future teammates. Again, the campus was beautiful to me. I like low-key campuses that's not too loud. It was like very mellow for me. So that was a key. And my future teammates, I automatically hooked up with a good friend of mine called Jenna Philo. She was a sophomore, and I was, coming in. And she and other teammates at that time kind of really made me comfortable. And I said, yeah, I could definitely rock with these girls. So that's what really got me pushed to go to Millersville University.
Okay. So if you had to compare your game to, who would you compare who you played like?
In the WNBA, it would be Sylvia Fowles. In the NBA, it would be Kevin Garnett.
Explain that. What, Kevin Garnett? Okay, so
Kevin Garnett, when he's in the post, he's very athletic, and his favorite move, that I got from him was the shimmy, like the dream shake that he'll do. So he'll fake this way, fake that. He'll keep going, and he would, confuse the defender. So that I implemented in my game, and that was just buckets all day.
Oh, so you had a little shimmy going.
Yes, yeah. I had to learn that. So, and basically, and I would add a little bit with Amari Stoudemire. So I loved how he would get in the post and face the basket. Once he faced that basket, he could either swing it and go right, swing it and go left. So, or he'll take a dribble and spin. So I learned that move from Amari Stoudemire as well. So I would say Sylvia Fowles, Kevin Garnett, and Amari Stoudemire.
Really? That's a good group there. That's
Yeah.
good. Oh, Gladden. So now, when did you notice, because at some point, basketball was over, but your love for the mental part started to happen. When did that happen?
So after basketball was over, I played my 4 years at Millersville. I played 2 years semi-pro. Then I got into corporate America, and being that people still knew me from around the way, I decided to do skills and development training. So I started with that, and I noticed as I started doing it, the sessions became more talking instead of physical. So we went from doing drills to just basically talking, and I was teaching them about the game, teaching them about being confident. From my experience, if they ever experience being down or lack of confidence, what I did in my career, what helped me. So I was getting a lot of a lot of messages and text messages from the parents saying, hey, not really sure what you're doing with my daughter and my son, but they're really gaining a lot of confidence working with you, and I really appreciate it. So in my mind, I was like, okay, if I'm getting this type of feedback from 4 to 5 parents, this is something I could potentially, excel in. I can work with other athletes as well. I'm a huge fan of Kobe Bryant, and he has the Mamba mentality. So
right.
And I'm a huge fan of Allen Iverson. He was 6'1", very short, and he didn't take crap from anybody. He was very mentally tough as well. So I think that's where I grew my mental toughness, and I was able to translate that to the other athletes I worked with.
True. Now, can you think of a time when you played ball that being mentally tough really helped you out?
I would say it would be a couple of games where, coaches from the opposing team will say stuff in the paper. So I remember I was going against a team, and the day before the coaches said some stuff, and they said, well, I think she's overrated. She's not that good. We're not going to have a problem with her. So I read that. I'm like, okay, it's whatever. And then when I got to the gym, people had signs. People were chanting, she's overrated every time I touched the ball. So one of the big things about mental toughness is being able to control the controllables. Now, what I mean by that, you have things you can't control, and you have things you can control. You can't focus on the stuff you can't control. You're wasting energy and you're wasting your time. 2 things you can control is your attitude and your effort. So every time I was going up and down my court and people were saying overrated, my attitude was still the same. I was smiling. I had my confidence. I stood tall. My effort up and down the court, I gave it the best I could. So that resulted in me not worrying about the chance. I kind of blocked it out because I knew I couldn't control the chance. I couldn't go in the stand and tell them, shut up,
Right.
In my game, control my effort, control my attitude. And after the game, we were able to enjoy a win, and they were able to enjoy my 32-piece. So,
right. Now that was high school or college?
That was high school.
That was high school. So you mean to tell me you was the big prospect that you were big enough that they were shouting at you? Glad, come on now. You was that young lady.
I was that young lady. Yes. They overrated. I remember it like it was yesterday, but it was just funny because you're screaming and it's not affecting me. They thought it would, but it wasn't. So that's why you have to have that mentality, because distractions will come. I had no idea they were going to come with those signs. Another thing about mental toughness, you need to be able to adapt. Every game is not going to be the same. So you need to be able to adapt to different situations. There will be games where you have a horrible ref. Again, you can't control that ref. You have to be able to play your game. There are times where, like I said, the crowd would be crazy. You can't control the crowd. You can control your attitude and your effort. And that is where you get the success. You can't worry about that.
Right. No, I'm enjoying just hearing you say it because I constantly preach it, but I love hearing it from somebody else, because it's so important, and people don't give it its due, but it's so important, the mental part. And if you can control the mental part, the physical part falls in line.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier environmental engineering. Now, it took me asking you 2 or 3 times, what does an environmental engineer does? All I know is it took a lot of school, you make a lot of money, and it sounds important. That's all I know. So
So
what?
as an environmental health and safety engineer, I'm basically combining the knowledge of engineering and combining the health and safety to develop procedures and design systems to help employees with their injuries and illnesses, properties, and the environment. So basically, in a huge nutshell, I am responsible for the safety and health for our employees, the equipment around our employees, and the environment. And it
Oh,
allowed me to travel all over the world. I'm not sure if we'll get to it if you ask a question, but I know when I got into this field, I made a vision of what I wanted to be. I wanted to be that boss lady who traveled around the world, had a husband, had a daughter, and just traveled and was in a high position. And I'm here.
and you got it,
Yeah,
right? And you got,
yeah.
what are some of the places you've been to? I know if you go to your social media, you're like, wow, this must
Yeah.
be a travel agency's.
Yeah, so I've been to Aruba, I've been to Curacao, I've been to Bahamas, I've been to
Wow.
U.S. Virgin Islands, I've been to the British Virgin Islands, I've been to Trinidad. That's all in the Caribbean, and I do go out to the West Coast. Sometimes I go to Texas. Um, I go down to Florida as well. So it allowed me to travel a lot, and I love traveling. So it's basically my dream job.
No, it's my dream job too
Yeah.
now. Okay? Now, y'all have to understand what I'm saying. And go look at her social media, and you don't stay in the Bahamas that I stay in the hotels I stay in. You stay in these luxurious,
Yeah.
magazine-worthy. Are you kidding? It's got to be great, right?
Oh my God, it's great. The only thing I wish I could bring my husband and my daughter with. That's the only thing I wish. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, that is well. At least you get to experience, and then if y'all go on a vacation, you
right.
already know where to
Absolutely.
go.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yep. And the people that I work with in these islands, they're like the best people in the world. They make my job easy. So, this is my dream job, and I absolutely love it.
That's awesome, man. And just kind of switching gears a little bit and talking about, let's say you have quote unquote a double negative in the industry, not only in basketball but also in your professional career of being a woman and another knock of being a black woman. And
Mm-hmm.
so with that comes certain challenges, right?
Yes.
Because we know just being in society, it brings challenges. So
Right.
I can imagine in two industries that are male dominated,
Yeah.
what that must be like. Could you, for the, the audience that may be similar or just want to understand, what are some of the challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Right. So I would add in another knocker. So you had African American, only female, and I would add the youngest. I would always the youngest
Really?
till this day. Even when I started my career, till this day, I'm always the youngest. So imagine an African American woman, youngest, in a room full of a lot of white, older men. You know what I mean? So it was very, very awkward in the beginning. It kind of broke me, to be honest, and uh, there's a story that I tell when I go and speak that I was so mentally tough when I was playing sports, but when I got into corporate America, it was like a deer in headlights. Just did not know what to do. So my challenges were people didn't respect me at all. They didn't think I knew what I knew. And I kind of absorbed that. So their perception of me, I made it my reality. And that was the biggest mistake I could ever do because when we'll have these meetings, and at such a young age till this day, I'm in meetings with the VPs, I'm in a meeting with the CEO of the companies. And I'm like in the corner in the beginning. I'll be in the corner with a little book. And when it was my turn to speak, I'll take only 2 seconds and I'll be done because I was just so shy. Yet I was so dominant on the court, but shy working my normal job. And that's like they made me feel that way, and I should have never accepted that. So the challenges is like till this day, they still kind of talk over me or feel that I shouldn't be in this position, or when we enter a room, they don't think I'm the person that should be in the room. Like, okay, who's Gladine? I'm like, oh, I'm right here. And you
Right.
can see them saying, oh,
Right.
hey, well,
Really?
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I still get it till this day, but it's made me stronger. It made me more dominant. And being a mental performance coach in a male dominated field as well, in the beginning when I started, I was taken advantage of from, other, programs by having me come speak at their events or having me work with their athletes and not paying me. And that's something that I had to learn. Okay, we're doing contracts. We're speaking up front. I'm not going to just say, okay, do it, and then talk about money later. So it's been very difficult, but it built me up. So I'm perfectly fine now. Whether I walk in a room and I'm still only only African American woman, that's fine with me. Come on, let's get this work done. That's fine.
Right. No, I love it.
I'm here to work. Let's get it done.
No, I love that confidence. And you know, we have a lot of young ladies watching today, and they need to understand, no matter what field you're in, you know, let your work speak for it.
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
At the end of the day, they're going to have to respect that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, and they're not going to respect it because you were once a basketball player. Yeah, it's a good topic starter. Oh, you play basketball? That's good. But at the end of the day, if someone wants to report, they're not going to say, oh, I know you averaged 20 points, you know, you could slide. It's like, no, give me the report now. You know, let's get this started now. Like, they don't care about your previous life. You're in a new playing field, and you have to know how to adapt. And keyword, adapt. You got to know how to adapt.
That's exactly right. No, I don't know how you do it. I mean, I look at it, and you wear all these different hats. You know, you're with a company that you're this fancy engineer. You know, you own your own company. You're a mom. You're a wife. How do you juggle all that?
So it is very difficult because I live in Richmond, Virginia, and it's only my husband and I and the little baby girl. We have no family whatsoever. So when I gave birth to Blake, it was really tough. And it was just that mental toughness had to tap in. I had to remind myself who I am. I had to remind myself what I accomplished in the past and how did I do it. So I kind of used that same method to help me become a mom and do all of this. So my husband, he works second shift, so it's all day, me and the baby. So I'm doing work. You know, taking phone calls, whether it's texting you or texting someone else. And it's difficult, but obviously it can be done. You just have to. Oh, and with me, I'm big on organizing. We met a few times, and you just saw I had my little book with me. And I'm very big on organizing. Everything has to have a time next to it. If it doesn't have a time, then I don't have time for it. It's not making my calendar. So you have to be very, very organized. Like you said, with me being a wife, having to cook, and taking care of the little one. She's crazy. She just turned 2. No one warned me about the craziness. And then really working with I Am Mentally Tough. I think the reason why I Am Mentally Tough is really getting there right now is because I have been consistent since 2020. I was like, okay, I'm done playing this game of working on it for 2 weeks and then stopping. But I've been very consistent, and it's really getting places. So I'm excited.
Take it on, right? Yeah. You know, it always goes, you get back what you put in, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and now, how old is your daughter?
She just turned 2 Saturday.
Oh, 2. Oh, you got, you're about to get tough.
Yeah. And another thing I want to say is support as well. So as you know, I do travel a lot for work. So I have no one to watch Blake. So I would literally drive from Richmond to Pennsylvania, drop her off, and have her grandparents, whether it's my husband's parents or my parents, watch her. Or they would actually make the 5-hour drive and come here and spend a week and watch her. So the support system is amazing. I text and talk to my sisters every day. I vent to them. There's nothing wrong with venting either. They know me as a mentally tough person. So when I vent to them, they're not like, oh, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to be tough. No, they accept it and say, come on, girl, and just let it all out. And then I can go back and put my cape on. You know, you always need someone to vent to. So
that's right.
Important.
No, that's good stuff. Now you say 5-hour drive for a babysitter for the weekend.
For a week.
And for a week, right? So, and people complain about having to go to the other side of town, and you go 5 hours away.
5 hours, I drop her off, then hop on a plane.
No, but you know what that shows is whatever it takes, you get it done.
Absolutely.
And that takes mental toughness. You know,
yep.
you don't sit and complain and say, oh, what I'm going to do. No, you come up with the solution and you get it done. Right?
That's it. You write out your plan and you get it done. That's all me. I have notes everywhere. I write out my plan. And like when I first entered in corporate America and I was struggling so bad, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why can't I get it? I used to be so good on the court. Like, why can't I just be good here in corporate America? And it dawned on me. I'm like, okay, when I played basketball, I played for something. I played to win a game. I played to win our conference. I played to win a championship. here at corporate America, what am I playing for? You know, what am I playing for? So that's when I created my plan of what do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And as soon as I wrote down my plan, things just started going smoothly for me. I know what I needed to do on a day basis to get to where I am now. So.
Right. No, that's good stuff. And,
yeah.
and you created, you know, I Am Mentally Tough, but I want you to tell people, what is I Am Mentally Tough and why was it important for you to create this? You know, like what was the motivation behind it?
So the creation behind it was, again, like I said, when I was working with the athletes, you know, parents will come and tell me, oh, you're, you know, helping my girl gain confidence. And then my friends as well, I would talk to them and I would help them excel in their lives or whatever they were doing. And usually when you're down on yourself, you say something to yourself to pick you back up. I know a lot of athletes do it. I know LeBron James do it. You say something to yourself to pick yourself back up. And my mantra to myself was, I'm mentally tough. When things are going down is, I'm mentally tough. And I realized, I'm like, okay, if this is what I want, this is my brand. This is me. When you see I Am Mentally Tough, you see me. When you see me, you see I Am Mentally Tough. So I knew I wanted a bold statement. I'm big on affirmations as well. So whatever you say after I am is what you're going to manifest, you know? So I am mentally tough. That was it. And I was like, this is what I am about. I am a mentally tough person. So whatever you throw at me, whatever adversity I'm going through, I say to myself, I am mentally tough, and just allow myself to go through the process.
Oh, right. Now, you know, you and I think a lot when it comes to this. Like we really share a lot of the same goals and beliefs when it comes to the mental side of the game. And you know, I say it, like I said, I say it every week, the importance of being mentally tough and, you know, how important it is for student athletes to train their minds as much as they do their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, as much, your mindset is a skill set.
It is a skill set.
You know, could you talk about that a little bit for the
athletes? Of course. So to me, the game is primarily mental. So when you're in competition, you may face somebody who is equally as good as you, but you can beat them with your mind. Mental toughness means you are resilient. You could fight through adversity. So a lot of athletes think they don't need mental toughness. A lot of mental performance coach, or a lot of parents think they don't need a mental performance coach. They will say, oh, you know, my child is good, she don't need it. But when you are going through the motions, or if a game's in overtime, you know, I remember watching a game years ago, a game went into 4 overtimes, and you could tell the kids were tired, they were trenched. But the mentally tough players are the ones who played throughout the entire game. They had the grit. They were tired just like the other team, but it was their mental toughness that allowed them to win that game. So I feel a lot of athletes don't take mental toughness seriously until they start getting to the next level and the next level, and they realize, oh wait, this person's as good as me. Like, how else can I beat them? Or people are too ashamed, or they're shy to say, I don't have confidence. I'm scared. I think a lot of people don't want to admit to that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. You'll find you have people in the NBA like Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan, and Elizabeth Cambage from the WNBA. They all wrote letters talking about how they suffer from mental illness. No one deemed them weak. They actually praised them for actually talking about it.
Right.
So athletes shouldn't be afraid to talk about their mental health at all. It's normal. They just need to continue talking about it. So if you're facing any issues, you need to find somebody that you can confide in and talk to about it.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. Now, why do you think, you know, parents or players are not, they invest thousands and thousands of dollars every summer to go to camps, to go to tournaments, to go get training, you know, different performance gear. Why do you think they neglect to invest as much into, you know, the mental performance?
Because I think they hear the word mental and think that they think what's wrong with their child. Like, oh, no.
He's not crazy.
Right. And that's not what it's all about, is just training. The same way you train your muscles to get bigger and be able to perform, you have to train your mind to get bigger and be able to perform when the big lights show up, when you're facing adversity, when you're going through situations that you haven't gone through before. You have to train your mind as much or even more as you train your body. There's nothing wrong with mental training. And then you have athletes who say, well, I am mentally tough. I don't need training. Okay, yeah, you are mentally tough, but you never know. Something in the future might hit you so bad it could bring you to rock bottom. You need to know the method. You need to know the skill sets to help you get back up or maintain your mental toughness. So mental toughness, I believe, is for everyone.
Yeah, and no, like you said, athletes sometimes say I am mentally tough. Well, I say just like that, you may be a great free throw shooter, but if you don't continue to practice shooting free throws, you'll fall off,
You'll
right?
fall off. Absolutely, you're
Same
absolutely
thing.
right. It's the
Yeah,
same
no,
thing.
same
It's the same
things.
thing.
So what we do, although we talk about the athletes and so forth, and that's our background and our specialty. But what we do as mental performance coaches is not limited to sports, right? It can be, you could use that type of coaching in anything, right? Why don't you tell them how?
Yeah, you can use that type of coaching in any aspect. So, for instance, if you have a company who's looking to get more people involved and people who need high performance. Some you have coworkers, some people with low performance. If you're looking for people to heighten their performance or heighten their self-awareness, mental game coaching is for everyone. So I believe that um, if they understand what mental game coaching is really about, it's not only for athletes. Some people need to know how to handle situations. You could go through a divorce. You could lose a loved one. You could get fired from your job. How are you going to bounce back from that? Or you could get a promotion. How are you going to adapt to the new role that you have? Mental performance is about fighting adversity and adapting to new situations. So I feel that it's not only for athletes. So of course athletes could benefit, but the mental toughness part is for everyone.
No, that's exactly right. When I heard you say those things, and again, it aligned so much with what I believe, that I was impressed enough that I was like, oh, I want her.
Yeah.
I need this young lady to help me get it to the world,
Yeah.
because, you know, they need to hear it from more than just one person. And, when I talked to you, I felt like we both were the same people, but
Right.
different sexes that had the same ideas. We had the same beliefs, and we were passionate about it. And so a few weeks ago, we had the privilege of announcing to everybody, Gladine Frasso is our new mental performance coach. I was excited about that. I really was.
Very, very.
I really was. And we're excited to have you to all of our events that we have. But why don't you tell them what they can expect from you when they see you there?
So when I will be present at the events, first and foremost, we will have it. We will introduce ourselves. So I will introduce myself to the crowd as well, and I will actually be hanging out at these events. So if you have an athlete, or if there's athletes at the events who really want to go ahead and talk to me and say, hey, coach, I have this issue going on. Can you let me know how I could address it, or what mental skills do I need to address this, that, and the third? I will be there at these events. Also, I know there will be small workshops, I believe. I will be there giving an insight on mental game performance, exactly what I do, exactly the topics I touch base on, how can I help you, and why you need to work with me. So that's primarily what I'll be doing. Also, if you have an athlete there or athletes that's watching now, if they want to work with me one-on-one, I'll give my information towards the end.
Yes.
Easily hit me up, and we could start the process of working one-on-one. But my main mission, I'm very passionate about helping people. That's my passion. I love to see people saying, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have done it. But I love to see people actually work.
Right.
Actually do the work. If I work with you and I give you strategies, I want you to actually apply the strategies. Not just, oh, I forgot to do it. That's not going to fly with me. I'm going to push you to your limit. I know I wear a lot of hats, but I could wear another one too. I want to push my athletes to the limit. I want them to know I'm in their corner, as long with their parents and their coach. You have another person in your corner, and that's me. So
that's great stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we got you on. They need to know who you are.
I'm beyond ready. I'm not sure if people know how we got to work with each other, but I was at an event and follow that person who ran the event, and then they tagged you, and I got on your page. I'm like, oh, this guy's big. He's huge. So I have a list. I have a list of people I wanted to work with, and you know, I put his name on the side. I'm like, this is the person I want to work with. And I just been consistent. And the thing is, you never know who's watching you. So don't be out there saying, oh, no one's contacting me. You got to do the work. Someone's watching you. And thank God that you and I connected. You watched me and I watched you. We just connected.
Yeah, yeah. And beyond just you becoming our mental performance coach, you and I have also collaborated on I Am Mentally Tough and Changing the Game, have collaborated on becoming The Game is 99% Mental.
Yes.
And I'm gonna let you tell everybody what that consists of.
It's still the early stages, but as you all heard right, I Am Mentally Tough and Changing the Game will be combined together to The Game is 99% Mental. So Lamont and I will be working with each other. We will be preaching mental performance to not only athletes, but to, my goal is to everybody in the world. I want everybody in the world to hear our voice. So he and I will be merging together our businesses, and we created The Game is 99% Mental, and we'll be out there going to events, organizations, doing webinars, anything we put our mind to, because Lamont is just like me. Anything we put our mind to is going to happen. So it's going to be big. So I can't wait. I know
I'm excited.
That's a little sneak peek, but
yeah, I'm excited about it. I really am excited about it.
So am I.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, workshops and just it's going to be great.
Think of. So I'm very excited about it, and I've been keeping that in the hush hush because I think it's just still surreal about it, because I think I followed you about 3 months ago, and we already are at this partnership. So I'm telling you, you got to write your goals. And I'm big on goal setting. And when I work with my athletes, the first thing I kind of do is figure out what their goals are. So I don't want to hear, oh, I want to make pro. That's not cutting it. We need to figure out exactly what your goals are. We're going to do it year by year and go from there. So if your goal is, I want to make it to the pro league, you got to scale that down just a tad bit. What is your goal 5 months from now? What is your goal a year from now? What is your goal 2 years from now? What are the steps that's going to take you to that goal that you want to make it pro? So you have to scale it down a little bit.
No, and I want people to know, listen to me, folks that are on here right now listening, she has my stamp. I have vetted and watched and listened, and she has my approval as one of the top young ladies in this field. She's going to be huge. I already know.
I manifested it as well. So, and it's kind of hard working in this field. It's everybody's kind of to themselves. I am kind of to myself, but I am careful who I work with. I live in this area, and I see, programs. There's so many programs out here, and I wouldn't say picky, but I'm very careful about my space. I'm very careful about my energy. Just because you have a program that's on and popping, if you as an owner of that program have bad energy, I'm not gonna work with you. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't know how big you are. If your energy is not matching my energy, or you're gonna bring me down, I can't do it. I have to. I need my peace. When I'm working, I don't want to be stressed out. If I'm gonna be talking to teams and programs, I want to be happy. I want to feel the vibe. I can't work with people where I feel like we're not going to be on the same level. So there are a lot of programs out there I have my eyes on, and some I just decide to stay away from. So
no, and again, this with COVID-19 and everything shut down, it happened for a reason. It allowed you and I to get our ventures together, and we took the opportunity for this quote unquote break to actually make bigger moves.
Right. Absolutely. And it's a major move, major move. Like I have a vision board, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at things that actually came to life. I'm like, this is what I wanted. So I can't thank you enough, Lamont and Trey. You guys have been beyond fantastic. Our group calls, I love it.
No, and I want everybody to know, like, if I'm not available and you're reaching out to me, I'm gonna look. Have you talked to Gladine? She's better than I am. Talk to her. I'm going to see her. How about that? So, she's my mental performance coach.
Hey, I got you.
Right. And before we, end this segment, why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me. My personal account is Mental Game Coach _ my first name Gladine, Gladine. And my business page is I Am Mentally Tough. Like my shirt says, I Am Mentally Tough, basically. So yeah.
Okay. So y'all don't do like me. Don't call her Gladine. All right. Is how many?
Look.
Gladine. Yeah, Gladden. Okay.
Gladden. I know it's spelled a little different, but yes, it's Gladden. I don't think I've ever had anyone say it right, but that's okay. It's a great conversation starter. So yeah, Gladden. And yes, so my business page, I would love for everyone to follow my business page, trying to get those follower up. Again, is I Am Mentally Tough.
Yeah, and be on the lookout because it's only a matter of time because you're going to see Gladden everywhere with Get Me Recruited because we're working out the kinks now and working on some things, but I wanted to introduce you all to her because she's an important part of what our future is going to be. And I really believe that, and I trust her with all. I gave you the keys. Hey,
thank you. I'm driving.
You're gonna drive us there. I'm riding shotgun.
Good.
But before I let you go, now you watched our lives a lot, right? You've been on
them, and I know there's a crazy little question coming up.
There's a crazy little something coming, right? See, for my people that watch, they know there's something at the end for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't tell you, but I knew it was coming. But hey, the good thing is you're going to be the very first one to play this particular game. This particular game, you're a new one. It's called Quick Draw.
Okay.
Quick Draw. All right. You're going to, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to answer 10 totally random questions. Some of them actually quite ridiculous, but you're going to answer 10 totally random questions in 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to answer them all.
All right.
And this, I'm telling you, they're random, but you can do it. It's all mental. It's all mental, right? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's shoot. Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. How many times have you run out of gas in your life?
2.
What's the worst movie you ever saw?
Levels. I forget. The Platform.
Platform. Must be terrible. Here we go. Would you try collard green flavored ice cream? What's your favorite place you ever visited?
Aruba.
Nice. Name one thing that totally grosses you out.
Feet.
What is it?
Feet.
Not a footsie person, huh? You just ordered a pizza. What's going on the toppings?
Extra cheese. How
many times a day do you wash your hands?
5. Has to be more than 5. I'm in a safety field. I have to.
Should the potato salad be white or yellow?
I like it white.
Oh, no. Last question. Oh, that might have disqualified you right there. But all right, here we go. That's from them trips on them corporate business. That's not. Here we go. If you're sitting on a plane next to this sweet old lady and she passes gas and it stinks something awful, do you say anything?
If it's more than once, yes.
It's more than once.
Yeah.
All right. My girl, Gladden, we appreciate you being on here, being a good sport. I really appreciate you coming. I appreciate you taking the opportunity to be with Get Me Recruited, giving us the opportunity to work with you and the great things that we have ahead. I'm so proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
And I'm extremely proud of where you're going to go because I already see it. I see it. I really do. You know, so if there's anything you need from us in the meantime, let us know. I'm telling my people out there, if you need a mental performance coach, you don't need to look any further. You're looking at the young lady right now who's going to help you.
Thank you. All right. And I definitely want to give a shout out to my friend Monica. She's one of my biggest supporters. You see her.
I see her.
So thank you, Monty. I love you.
Moni B, the motive. Yeah, I see her. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Gladys.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
All right. There you have it. Our girl, Gladine Frasso. Great interview. Great information. She's going to be an integral part of the Get Me Recruited. I'm excited to have her. She has a great mind, a great personality. She's going to bring a lot to this game, and I'm excited to have her. Before I let you go, we're going to talk about Thursday. Quincy Miller is in the building. Great young man to have on here. He is, if you don't know him, you'll know him. I guarantee you're going to learn a lot about basketball and how to be a high major recruit, what you go through as a high major recruit. This guy had everybody from Duke to Carolina, blah, 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 everybody after him, one and done. He's going to tell you the real of being a high major recruit and a one and done, what really goes on behind the scenes. Also, he's funny. I guarantee you're going to have some laughs with that guy. But that's what we have for this edition of Courtside Conversations. I want to thank you all again for tuning in, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Thank you.